everybody, it's Robin. Today I wanted to talk about compassion. I was really hesitant to do this video because I think a lot of people might get the wrong idea initially. I know this world is in a lot of turmoil right now, and it seems like it needs more compassion, more empathy. And initially it's going to sound like I'm asking for the opposite of that. But really what I want to say about it is not that we don't need more compassion in the world. I think we need to do compassion better. So there's a couple aspects I want to talk about. First is the word itself, compassion. Co meaning together, passion meaning suffering. Literally, we suffer together. And it sounds like a nice human thing, caring for others, open heart, empathy. But there's a real danger in that. And a lot of people, especially sensitive people, when you connect with other people's energy, you can fall into it. And what happens is, say you see someone in a state, let's say a lower vibrational state, and you open your heart, and it's natural to do that, but you tend to get into their vibrational state and lower your own, and that lowers your vibration, it lowers the collective vibration, and I don't think it really does anyone any good. So I think we need to endeavor to really hold our own vibration high. Now you can do that and still have an open heart, and still have concern, and still be caring for other people, but you just don't want to lose your own energy. It's about boundaries. I think a lot of people are falling into traps of they're borrowing people's rage and doom scrolling and all these things going on today, and we really need to be here to feel our own feelings, and most often that's plenty, more than enough. So don't go borrowing trouble from others. I understand in a clinical setting with a client, empathetic people may want to do a little exercise, that empathy, in order to diagnose, to feel what's going on with that client. But you want to get in and get out. Like if the water is hot, you dip your toe in and you pull it out quickly. You don't leave your whole foot in there. It's especially hard with family, with ancestry. It's easy to get your emotions tied up with those of others to the point where you're not even really sure what's your own anymore. So I think we need to endeavor to really keep our boundaries intact these days. And that may sound cold, but it's not. It's neutral. Another thing that I think gets wrapped up in compassion is judgment, and I think we want to try to do less of that in our lives as well. We see someone in a state of turmoil, of depression, of grief, or whatever, and we judge that. And we judge that by not necessarily what's going on with them, but by putting ourselves in their position and what might be going on with us. So essentially, we don't really know. You can see someone, in that state, and they could be going through exactly what they need to be going through. They could be growing, they could be building tremendous strength from that. They could be, going through a soul purpose. They could be, that dirt poor family. The child might have the most amazing relationship with its mother. The one, you might have traded a lot for to have that kind of relationship. So you just don't know. So we're putting all these judgments on situations that we really don't know enough about. We can't ever know enough about that. So why should we judge people in situations as these situations are good or bad? And God forbid we should start judging the people as good or bad or pity them. Oof, that just sounds terrible. It doesn't respect them. So I think with compassion, it's easy to slip into that, and we want to guard a little bit about that kind of judgment. So the word, I have a little trouble with the word itself. I want to have a new word for that. I guess maybe the closest word is like namaste, might be close. Kind of, you approach someone in a situation and they're in it, as we say. And you can have an open heart and you can say, I see you. I respect where you are in your journey, but you don't have any kind of judgment about that. So these are my reasons for, having a little difficulty with the historical vision of compassion. I think we need to do the compassion a little better. So that's one of the reasons that I like light language, is because, the words we use are often loaded with these old kinds of approaches and emotions that I think we need to update and do compassion better, or come up with a new word for how we should be open and caring for others with respect for our boundaries and their boundaries as well. So I'm going to try a little light language. Hang on one second. I'm going to invite in whoever wants to talk about this subject. Eu dicho ardo ta shot o de we to kurden sai jenin to usa rajes koske di to dore sakachero nesura to hey and so to you want to go a khutsa chakata squai jonta karis shute krejo kata hin no kris a khur si to kain shorti so ko to da es ko chiki no neswa tra is ko chiki no to kris ko chiki ti ko chira te wari chi on ne ti so to ku te krit square ti ko chiki no kres ko akila rija ja ni kra na ri kra discussa shuri eso nero ni cozziro ni ara non ne guido I da ne scoci tata roge ci tata in suswa sero ni kutte aso sa rukre son si wi wai di son gre sukri ci giani ne so ore ci giani dentro curezza arro darro si to dai ni crori se sicura ne ci c'ero non grare so ancora rucca si c'ero c'ero non corresco ci curi su ore ci so rezza e non ne credisco c'è tata che din sara uri e ciosana ni c'è catata da non se coci c'ero rucai c'è qui ci c'è non è stata non è ora c'è tatina non è credo scacciata in sora radio c'è coci ciuri nira l'ero ni so on tutto cu ruca c'è giorni sa no wisone wiso ti curi si tata giorni di dura si ciane de cerini wi ciare ne di siri si già dove sono ore su wi corregsin dai ani grade si ciani de ti ero rani. Thank you so much for listening. I know it may sound a little contradictory for me to be talking about boundaries as a channeler, as someone who lets spirit into her body and lets them use her voice. But believe me, we've had conversations about boundaries and who I accept in and what their purpose is and what our intention is with the channeling. So I hope you think about what we talked about, or don't think about it. Just listen to the light language and just let that sink in. Until next time, thank you so much. Namaste.